Hello, this is Russ from Writing to Understand, and I want to share with you today a quick review of this Kokuyo paper, their campus line. And this is loose leaf sheets. They are college ruled, and there's 100 sheets in a pack, as you can see. And the size is almost letter size, 11 by 8 1/4 inches, and it's 3-hole punched. I've already taken the plastic off because it was so very reflective. But this is Japanese paper. They have a series of notebooks, spiral bound and otherwise, that you can see on jet pens that are very good notebooks. And according to jet pens, they're the most popular notebooks for students in Japan. But I've been looking for some notebook paper I could use for various things, some that I'm taking for class and other reasons. And of course, what you can find at Walmart and otherwise is usually not very good paper. So, what I want to do today is take a couple sheets of this and test some of these pens that you see here. They're all inked. I want to try some various combinations of pen, ink, and paper to see which combinations work best on this Kokuyo Campus loose leaf paper. So let's take this little sheet off right here. I'm going to shorten the stack a little bit so it's easier to write on. And then I'm going to zoom in a little bit so you can see more closely my questionable handwriting. My penmanship is coming along, I think, uh, with uh, with practice, and certainly is better with fountain pens than it is with ballpoints pens. And so let me get this a little straightened out here. And I think that's going to be pretty good. And let's see how that looks with a couple different pens. The first pen I'm going to try here is one of my, of course, favorites. This is a Pilot Custom 823. It's inked with Noodler's Black and has a fine medium nib. So let's see how this pen does. I'm going to open up the valve here a little bit. It's a wonderful vacuum filler. Let's see how this pen fares on this paper. And I'll turn things around so you get a more square look. So again, this is a Pilot Custom 823 fine medium nib with Noodler's Black. Of course, they're bulletproof black, a good all-around black. So what are my impressions just writing that little bit? Um, I would say first, for such a smooth nib as this pen has, there is some real drag on this paper. I wouldn't call it tooth. It's not like that. But let's just say there's little glide as you write along. The ink looks nice and dark. I don't see any feathering that I can see. Dark, no feathering. And we'll have to look at bleed through on the other side. Goes down pretty wet. And so that's an important thing. We'll check bleed through just in a second here. But my general impression is for notebook paper, overall, this is okay. It's not like writing in my Apika notebook or something that is just wonderful, but it's okay. So we'll rank these pens and combinations and find out what works the best. As everybody knows who loves fountain pens, when you have a pen, an ink, and paper, there is this trifecta. And when you find three that fit together, that seem to be a match made in heaven, it is wonderful. This is pretty good. Not great, but pretty good, this particular pen. All right, let's try another one real quick and see what else seems to work on this paper. I'm going to grab here my platinum laser and see how this one, whoops, bonked the camera, see how this one looks on the paper. Let's go ahead and slide this up a little bit so that you can see what I am trying to accomplish here. So this is platinum plaisir, and it is a fine nib. And this platinum plaisir is inked with Pilot Blue or Pilot Namiki Blue. So what are my first impressions just after writing only one line? This glides well. This combo glides fairly well. Ink color is lighter or fainter than on a pica paper. I don't see any feathering. My penmanship is pretty bad today. No feathering. But it's overall it's pleasant. It's pleasant. Let's flip it over and see what these two look like on the other side. I see no bleed through at all for either one so far. Nothing. That's a very, very good sign. All right, let's grab another pen here and see how it does. I'm going to grab another sheet so we can stay at the top. This pen is a TWSBI Diamond 580 with a fine tip. And so let's see how it writes on this paper. Okay. This one is a TWSBI Diamond 580 fine nib with Noodler's Baltimore Canyon Blue. This ink in some places, in some situations, seems to be a bit gooey, and then in other papers it writes beautifully. Let me give you a few impressions so far about this paper. The color looks great. This is a great shade of blue, and there are papers that sometimes obscure that a little bit, but it looks great on this Kokuyo paper. I see no feathering. That's good news. I don't feel the stickiness. In terms of glide or smoothness, I would say this is better than the other two pens. Okay, better than the custom 823 or the platinum plaisir. We'll just call it that for now. Looks good. I think I would give this an overall pleasant experience for writing. So this is doing one, I think this is doing better than the others. So we're going to set this one aside as well. Now let's jump and do something quite different. We'll take another platinum pen. This time we're going to take a platinum preppy pen. And as you can see, this is an extra fine, and it's inked up with Noodler's Bay State Blue, the infamous Noodler's Bay State Blue. And so I'm going to slide this sheet up a little bit so you can see better. And here we go. So this is, ooh, platinum preppy, extra fine. And it has Bay State blue. Of course, that's Noodler's. Hmm. Well, what do I think so far? What are my initial impressions just writing now? This paper just came in the mail today. Uh, the sharp nib, this extra fine, does well on this paper. Yeah, I kind of like how it grabs a little bit. Um, I do see, in terms of the ink, I see some faint feathering. Not much, just a little bit. This is interesting, but this nib feels like printing works well on this paper. Yeah, part of it is the nib, but part of it is just the combination of these three together, nib, ink, and paper. I like this. Yeah, I like this combo. That's pretty good. All right, so that's a good impression as well. Now let's try one that's a little different from that. I'll grab another sheet here so it's easier to see pretty well with the camera. And again, this is another Platinum Preppy. This one is a regular fine Preppy, and it has Noodler's black ink in it, which has a different feel than the Bay State. And so let's try this one. Oh, oh, Platinum Preppy Fine with Noodler's Black. They're bulletproof black. Oh my. So impressions. This is the best combo so far. The Platinum Fine Nib, the Noodler's Black, and the Kokuyo Paper. The glide is good. Glide or smoothness is very nice. Huh. Color pops, of course, nice and bold. I see no feathering. No feathering. Yeah. And this is real easy for my eyes, and I have poor vision. This really looks good. So definitely, this is the best combo so far for these three. So that's going in first place. Let's try another pen that is again quite different, and I'll slide the paper up here so you can see a little bit more. I am learning some more about how to film off of a desktop better, but I need more time to be able to master this. Okay, so this particular pen is a Lamy Studio fine nib, and it is inked with Noodler's X Feather Blue. And how does it feel? What are my initial impressions? Well, it's clear and crisp combo. Oddly, it feels That's supposed to be like writing with a pencil. I don't mean that in a bad way. No feathering that I can see yet. Um, Smoothness, no, because it feels like I'm writing with a pencil. There's just a little bit of tooth to it. The ink looks great. So this combo, I think, is a good combo if you like that feel of an old school pencil like we all grew up with in school. Let's flip it over and see if there's anything about bleed through here. I can see darkness, but nothing has bled through. Let's compare it to the previous sheet that had the infamous Bay State blue. What does that look like? Well, the Bay State blue did not bleed through, but it's so dark you can see it. What's above, the Twisby Diamond with the Baltimore Canyon, is a bit lighter, but the paper is pretty good about not allowing bleed through. So I kind of like how this looks and feels, though it's not smooth in every way. Let's do one more pen just to see how this looks. And I'm just going to use the same paper, but slide up a little bit more. And you're going to see again my preference for a certain brand of ink. Part of that is that's all I own so far, besides a couple others. And this is a Lamy. It's supposed to be a Lamy Safari. Let me fix that so we have two M. And it's a fine point. And it's inked with, you guessed it, Noodler's Red Black. That D did not turn out well. Huh. Initial impressions. Let's see. The ink looks more brown than on a pica paper. That's interesting. The feel feels a bit sticky. Yeah, the ink does on this paper. Terms of feathering, no, don't see any. Do I like it? Not much, not really. Not really, don't like it. That's surprising because I really do like it on other paper, but not on this one. It's not my favorite. So let me flip over, see if there's any. No, it doesn't come through at all. Looks good. So what's the conclusion here? What's the best pen for this paper? Best pen ink combination. You can see the red got on here. Really, I think the best one for me and how I like to write, the Platinum Preppy Fine Point with Noodler's Black writes the best on this Campus Kokuyo loose leaf paper. The next best one, that might be a tie between my Diamond 580 with Noodler's Baltimore Canyon Blue and my Pilot Custom 823, which has Noodler's black in it. It's interesting that both pens that had Noodler's black worked well on this paper. I know it's not a lubricated black, but it felt like it was just ever so slightly. I also, just in fourth place here, I liked printing with this other Platinum Preppy, the extra fine with the Bay State blue. But again, I gotta say, it's this one. The Preppy Fine with Noodler's Black performed best on this Campus Kokuyo paper, loose leaf. And so that's my recommendation to you based on the pens and combos that I have and that I pulled out and prepped for today. Thank you so much. Come visit me again and let me know if you've used this paper before. Do you like it? And what pen and ink combo did you find works really well with this particular paper?